It's a good AGam in Kansas morning. Good morning. Let's take a look and see what's coming up today. On Horsing Around, Dawn Dawson is at Equifest, visiting with Dr. Justin Janssen, president of the Kansas Horse Council. Next, K-State wheat specialist Romulo Lollato offers advice on identifying potential freeze injury. And Will McNair with the US Soybean Export Council discusses 3 projects Kansas Soybean Commission is working on. Then learn all about the Brown Recluse Spider. And we'll end with a look at sustainability for beef producers. Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to AGam in Kansas, and we're doing the Horsing Around segment today. We are at Equifest. I've got the chance to meet with Dr. Justin Janssen, who is the president of the Kansas Horse Council. And, you know, I'd just like to tell everybody, Equifest this year is absolutely spectacular, and you know, having this guy on the Kansas Horse Council had a lot to do with that. He headed up and was involved with the Hoosier Horse Fair in Indiana. They had a huge horse fair out there and brought some of those ideas and that experience here to Kansas, to the Kansas Horse Council, which puts this event on. And you guys, your whole team has done an awesome job.
Well, we're really led by Ann White. You know, she's the coordinator and she took that on, and because her heart's in Equifest,
yes.
and it's a whole group of volunteers that really get the thing done. You know, we couldn't begin to do what we do without all the people stepping up and being a part of it.
Yeah, well, it has been a great move to bring it from Wichita to Topeka. And, you know, a lot of people are kind of like, oh, it's so spread out. I said, well, but if you go to the big successful horse fairs, this is what it's like. These big facilities where you can just keep bringing vendors in and lots of clinicians. There's all kinds of rooms around for demonstrations and talks to be done.
Yeah, the people have really been happy. I think the people that come and just are spectators and trying to learn, and the vendors that are here are pleased with the new facilities, and we really hope that when the Expo Center enlarges, and hopefully in the next 3 to 5 years, that we're going to fill all that space too when it becomes available.
I think it's a great possibility, and you know, we've had some great clinicians here this year in 2016 with Tim McQuay. We had Dan James with Double Dan Horsemanship. Great, he is a great entertainer, and you know, with our English people as well and all the local people that are around in the small rooms, it's been a great show. But you've got a big name coming in next year already, right?
Yep, Chris Cox is already committed to be the kind of the headline clinician for the 2017 Equifest, and we're tickled about that, and we'll line up some other people to back him up and other disciplines.
Which is the 20th anniversary, right?
20th anniversary, right.
So that's going to be a big deal next year. So if you guys didn't get a chance to get to the 2016, we're wrapping it up today here. Be sure to get it on your calendar next year for 2017. It's right around like February 18th, 19th or something like that. So yeah, so get it on your calendar. Thanks, Dr. Janssen, for all you've done. My neighbor, my friend, I appreciate it. We've just been having a great time, and thanks for watching AGam in Kansas this morning, and we'll see you next year at Equifest, Kansas.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We're having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
Hi there folks, I'm Dr. Dan Thompson. Are you Beef Quality Assurance certified? If you work with cattle on a regular basis, you should be. Beef Quality Assurance has been around for 30 years, and it has been the cornerstone for producers to learn how to provide safe, nutritious, and wholesome beef for our consumers. Today, our friends at Boehringer Ingelheim Vet Medica have generously supplied an online training program at bivi-bqa.com so that you can become BQA certified online at no cost between now and April 15th. Beef quality assurance is about empowering people. It's about taking responsibility for the beef that we produce, and it's about providing the proper training on farm on things such as cattle handling and animal husbandry. Go to the website, bivi-bqa.com. Get BQA certified today, thanks to our friends at Beringer Ingelheim Vet Medica.
Support Kansas agriculture education with an AgriTag. AgriTags are available anytime at your county treasurer. They look great on cars and trucks. For more information, go online to ksagclassroom.org.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
ValleyVet.com, ValleyVet.com, Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or for more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
As we know, we had a warm winter, so overall the wheat was ahead and is ahead in its development. On average, on the state, anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks ahead of schedule for this time of the year. So we have many fields that were at jointing last week or even before that, so especially south central Kansas where it's more advanced. The first thing that we looked at is a question of how cold did it get. On the night of March 19th to 20th, when we had our coldest night, several parts of the state, several regions, especially on the western third of Kansas, were exposed to above 10 hours of temperatures below 24 Fahrenheit. So we're using this threshold of 24 Fahrenheit because wheat, whenever it's jointing, it's going to be susceptible to freeze damage if more than 2 or 3 hours of consecutive temperatures are below 24 Fahrenheit. And that's why we're using this threshold. And again, the western third of the state was exposed to over 10 hours in a row, over 10 consecutive hours of minimum temperatures below 24 Fahrenheit. The further east we move, the duration decreased, so most of the central portion of Kansas, where also there's a big concentration of wheat production, was exposed to anywhere from, 0 all the way up to maybe 5-8 hours of cold temperatures during that night. So really those fields that were advanced, especially in south central Kansas, that were exposed maybe not to 10 hours of cold temperatures, but to 3 or 4 hours of temperatures below 24, they might be, their growing points of those primary tillers may be damaged. Wheat is it's a very plastic plant, so it's going to send out those secondary tillers, and if spring weather allows it, it can still have very good yields, even with a loss of the primary tillers. The tendency is that we want to go ahead and check it as soon as possible. But really, we might not be able to see the symptoms of a freeze damage at this point. We need to give the wheat plant enough time and enough warm temperatures for us to be able to see those symptoms of a possible freeze damage.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
It's time, the Great Bend Farm and Ranch Expo, April 6th, 7th, and 8th in Great Bend, Kansas. Horse training demos and Expo 3 all 3 days. Ebert Ranch Shoot AI demonstrations will be April the 7th at 1 p.m. K-State speakers all 3 days. Over 700 vendors, 80 acres of exhibits. That's April 6th, 7th, and 8th. Corporate sponsors American Hat Company, Great Bend Co-op. Go to starexpos.net for more information.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
This segment brought to you by Heinen Brothers Ag, farmers helping farmers by offering quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia. Call today to protect your crop yield.
I'm Will McNair with the US Soybean Export Council. I manage industry and state relations. We've been good partners with the Kansas Soybean Commission for quite a while already. Kansas, within the past year, has invested in 3 particular projects. Japanese courses at Kansas State University, a risk management course, Latin American risk management course, which takes place at Kansas State as well as down in Latin America. And then finally, aquaculture projects, building aquaculture production in Latin America. The Japanese swine and poultry production courses take place at Kansas State. And essentially what we do is we talk about the intrinsic as well as the extrinsic qualities and value of US soybean meal. So we bring in, for each of these courses, 8 to 10 buyers, as well as poultry nutrition managers, swine nutrition managers, and feed formulation specialists. And they come here, they learn about, again, some of the feed formulation, but then they get one-on-one opportunity to meet with Kansas farmers, Kansas exporters, as well as be able to just learn more about the value of the bean. And then we have the extrinsic value that they learn about through relationships that they make with US exporters here, as well as relationships on the farm with Kansas soybean farmers. The second project that the Kansas Soybean Commission worked with us on this year was the risk management course within Latin America. What this is essentially is we find preferred buyers of US soybeans, soybean meal, different soy products that exist within Latin America that are very good buyers, but then may not have the technical knowledge or the knowledge in terms of buying and hedging their risk. So we know these are preferred buyers in the U.S. and we try to make them stronger, better buyers of U.S. soy products so that they can gain more market share and in turn buy more soybeans. This is a multi-year project we've been doing and it shows great results. In fact, when we had the course just recently in Kansas, they were able to meet with the young Kansas farmers, a group of young Kansas farmers, I forget which group exactly, and the farmers were able to talk about some of what they see, what they do in risk management, and again, talk with these business heads. And what it does, again, is not only strengthen the relationship between U.S. and specifically Kansas farmers and Latin American buyers, but as well just help to strengthen those buyers that will continue to buy U.S. soy in the future. Finally, Kansas has been quite involved with other states, including Iowa and Nebraska, in aquaculture programs within Latin America. Aquaculture has grown to be an incredibly big industry, an incredibly important industry for U.S. soy. It is estimated that I think approximately 9 to 10 million metric tons of soybeans are used in aquaculture annually. In fact, starting in 2011, aquaculture or farm-raised fish surpassed beef as the number, or surpassed beef in total tonnage and production. And it's only gone up there. It's important to note this because aquaculture, and specifically certain species like carp, tilapia, shrimp, others, use quite a bit of soybeans in their production. In Latin America is a very big buyer of US soybeans, soybean meal, and other soy products that make it into these aquaculture diets. And Kansas is helping to, the Kansas Soybean Commission and Kansas soybean farmers are helping to grow that demand and really grow the preference for US soy as well as grow that market. we're seeing increased market growth in other markets as well. But what's incredibly interesting is as aquaculture starts to spring out throughout the world and grow up, markets that used to grow aquaculture for US, say China, Vietnam, are now eating all that they can, and we're actually they are becoming black holes of sucking in all the aquaculture production that they can. And so that's why we're increasingly buying a lot of the farm-raised fish from places in Latin America. But again, it's all good because as it grows, they consume more soybeans and create more value for US and Kansas soybean farmers.
Earlier in my life, I rode bucking horses in rodeos, and my shoulders took such a beating, and that was probably the reason for having several previous surgeries on both shoulders. About a year ago, I decided that I didn't want to have another surgery. And so I contacted Kansas Regenerative Medicine, took their treatment process. It was relatively pain-free. Now, after 8 months, my shoulders have healed to the point where I think I'm probably 90 to 95% of normal. It takes a couple of months to start to see results with stem cell injections, but at about 3 to 3.5 months, I started to feel better. I started to have less pain and feel real progress. That continued to increase gradually until now at approximately 8 months. And I'm extremely pleased. I've got full range of motion. I can lift weights, I can throw, I can do a lot of things that I couldn't do without a lot of pain previously.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Heinen Brothers, a fourth-generation Northeast Kansas farm family, knows how tough farming can be. Farmers helping farmers. Heinen Brothers Ag, selling and servicing crop protection products, fertilizer, anhydrous ammonia, cover crops, quality aerial and ground application. Call today to learn about our extended term financing program. 800-760-4964. HeinenBrothersAg.com.
AGam in Kansas, brought to you in part by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
The Brown Recluse Spider is common not only in homes, but also in outbuildings, sheds, anywhere that is a dark, undisturbed area. They particularly like to get inside of cardboard boxes, burlap sacks, areas like that. They hide down in there and do very well. The Brown Recluse Spider is not at all aggressive. They're very shy. Usually their first reaction is to try and get away from us as quickly and easily as possible. However, in some situations, maybe where you're moving materials around and you may accidentally crush a spider or they can't escape from you, that's when bites may tend to occur. A lot of us will tend to store our winter gear in the shed, you know, our coveralls, jackets, gloves, boots. If they're left set all summer long, make sure you shake those out well before you put them on again. That's a great place for those spiders to crawl in and hide, and an opportunity to accidentally come into contact with the Brown Recluse Spider. The Brown Recluse Spider is an active hunter, which means it roams around in search of its food. They are nocturnal, so they're most active at night. During daylight hours, they tend to hide in their burrows. Brown recluse spiders do not spin webs, so if you walk into one of those spider webs, you know that's for sure not created by the brown recluse spider. As you can see here, they are various shades of brown, from a very light creamy brown. Probably the most characteristic sign that we look for is the fiddle, which is how they also got their other common name, the fiddleback spider. And if you look at the cephalothorax, or the head region, you can see this darker violin shaping. Brown recluse control can be rather difficult. General use insecticides labeled for brown recluse spiders will work well if it's sprayed directly on the spiders or if they walk across a damp surface that has just been sprayed. If you're concerned that you may have brown recluse spiders in either your home or an outbuilding or any sort of dwelling, they make sticky traps that are available at any home and garden store. You can place these around in out-of-the-way places and check them weekly or bi-weekly. Easy to see whether or not you have trapped any brown recluse spiders.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop liquid crop nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
When your living depends on agriculture, you can depend on KFRM 550 AM. If you're in the southwest three-fourths of Kansas or the northern half of Oklahoma, catch us at 550 AM on the radio dial. But if that isn't you, listen on your cell phone at TuneIn Radio or on your computer at KFRM.com. We promise to keep you informed, entertained, and company as you go through your day. KFRM 550 AM, the voice of the plains. We would like to join your management team.
I think it really extends your home out to the outdoors, and Mark always had kind of a vision of what he wanted to do with the yard, and so he envisioned this kind of outdoor area, the waterfall and things, but when Blueville came in, they had some really good ideas of how to place it and how to do different things that really enhanced the project. So.
Yeah, over the years we've grown to really enjoy our outdoor living space and developed a great working relationship with Blueville.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
AGam in Kansas is brought to you in part by SureCrop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
Sustainability can mean a lot of different things, but members of the beef community have boiled down their definition.
From a broad perspective, it's being socially responsible, environmentally responsible, and economically sound.
Sharing that information creates value in many ways.
We think that a consumer has an appetite for more information about their food. If we answer that food, do we increase the trust that they've got in our system to produce that food? I think the answer is yes. Does that help them make an easier decision to buy a steak versus another protein? I think the answer is yes.
Feeding a growing global population requires consumer trust and cooperation within the beef community.
So, does that mean that all beef is going to be natural, organic, bottle fit? No. Does it mean it's all going to be large, corporate act? No. There's going to have to be a balance. We're going to have to find the right systems in the right places to meet those needs, but we all need to work together. And so this trend that we see where we vilify our neighbor and say my product is more safe than yours or is better for the planet than yours, or this is foolishness. We need to celebrate the diversity, particularly in American agriculture, because we're going to be the people that feed the world.
Improving sustainability requires more than simply looking at production practices. Brewitt says false perceptions have already had a negative impact.
So how do we take back this narrative? How do we partner with those who sell the product, talk more about the good things that we're doing, so that when people who already love the products that we produce and have no intention of not consuming it, that they can continue to feel good about it.
Butler believes beef producers must do more than simply tell the story. They need to show quantifiable results.
And so, one of the key nuggets for me is that this is bigger than marketing.
right? So it's not just telling the story, but it's actually engaging in activities to allow us to commit and really do something around continual improvement. So we become more efficient. Yes, we can tell the story. Yes, marketing is a piece of it, but it's not all of it.
Even as new challenges continue to arise, he says the beef community's commitment to sustainability will remain unchanged. I'm Bob Cervera.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.